Actually, this has probably been the busiest year that we've had in our 33-year existence. Not that we ever had a year that wasn't very busy, but among the things that we've accomplished during this year is we held our January 22nd commemorations in 3 locations in St. Paul, in Duluth, and in Orlando, Florida. We've had multiple sidewalk counseling training, teaching seminars, including the largest one we've ever had, which was right here at the University of St. Thomas at the St. John Vianney Seminary, where we were invited to come in, and all the seminarians at that school were invited to be a part of the training. So it was a very, very good training session. We've increased our educational efforts online and through social media. We did a Lenten 40 Days for Life in downtown Minneapolis, which was finished with a Jericho March around the entire block. When we do a Jericho March with Pro-Life Action Ministries, it's a 7-day event, just like it says in the Bible. So we do one time around each of 6 days. On the 7th day, we go around 7 times, and then we have the shofars, the ram's horns being blown. Very powerful time of prayer. Our annual Good Friday prayer vigil at the Mega Planned Parenthood. How many people were there this past Good Friday? Very good. How many people have never been to Planned Parenthood or to one of those type of rallies before? New people. Wow, very good to see. Good to have you here tonight. Our annual Good Friday prayer vigil includes 15 area pastors who lead us in prayer, one each half hour throughout the day. A variety of pastors from a variety of denominations and churches that are there leading us in prayer. We have, throughout this entire day that goes from 8:30 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon, this past Good Friday, we had more than 2,800 people come out and join us in prayer at this Planned Parenthood. That is the single largest presence of pro-life people at an abortion facility in the United States. St. Paul, Minnesota. Happening here. And this is happening year after year after year. Very, very amazing to see this happen. We've stepped up to deal with Planned Parenthood, relocating from their Latino assault. They have a clinic that was actually targeting Latinos in that community, and they moved it out to Richfield. So this past summer, we had the opportunity to jump right in there with both feet and to help out the good people of Richfield that wanted to see something done with this. And we ended up having several prayer rallies out there. We had some training sessions, some strategizing sessions, and then we ended up doing the largest door-to-door campaign we've ever done in our history. We delivered 14,000 door hangers to every household in the city of Richfield in one morning, basically. So, and we're planning more of those. So we've got these type of things we're doing. We successfully took our National Sidewalk Counseling Symposium, this annual conference, on the road to Birmingham, Alabama. Had a very good time in August in Birmingham. You know, we have a branch office in Orlando, Florida, and I'll show you how crazy I am. I don't go and visit it during the winter, as I should. So, we did our second annual National Day of Remembrance for Aborted Children out in Mendota Heights at the Resurrection Cemetery, where the remains of 13 aborted babies were buried in January of 1987. In fact, the 13 red roses here we have represent one of each of those children that we had found and we gave this burial for those many years ago. We're right now in the middle of a fall 40 Days for Life campaign, and not to be wanting to sit around too much, we decided to do it in 2 locations at the same time this time. So we're actually doing it both in Robbinsdale as well as at the Mega Planned Parenthood. Yesterday, in fact, was our midpoint rallies we had simultaneous at these 2 locations. Again, a powerful time of prayer going on. And this doesn't include all the work that is going on in Orlando and Duluth and in Rochester, Minnesota, where we also have either branches or affiliates that are doing good work as well. And we have worked to encourage the whole pro-life movement in our area, regionally as well as somewhat nationally with our national efforts. We are quickly approaching 3,000 babies documented saved from being killed by abortion since the ministry began. Now, 71 of those are this calendar year that we're in right now. So 71 more babies saved in 2014 that we know about right now. And I say that a little bit tentatively because there may be 3 or 4 or 5 more that we just haven't figured out yet as we do this. And when I talk about this, we talk about documented babies saved. We're very careful. We have a criteria that's very strict and very tight. We don't say that a baby is saved willy-nilly by any means whatsoever, and just because a woman drives out of an abortion facility and smiles and waves is not a baby saved. There's got to be a lot more that happens that we understand and know about that situation before we document a baby saved. But we do know that there are many more babies saved that we cannot and do not document by the virtue of being out there in prayer. The presence of pro-lifers standing near an abortion facility, carrying a sign or not carrying a sign, being a sign yourself, standing there in prayer, saves lives. And how we know this is by 2 or 3 different things. Number one, Planned Parenthood and the National Abortion Federation both tell us that to be the case. Planned Parenthood has got memos going around to its facilities around the United States that puts a very high percentage of no-shows at their abortion clinics on abortion days when there are people standing outside their facilities praying. They call us wacko terrorist protesters standing out there praying. But they say that. The National Abortion Federation says it as well, that there's a percentage of women who simply do not go through with their abortion appointments that they've got scheduled when there are people out there praying in front of these facilities. And we hear back from women years later who will come up to us. They'll see us on the sidewalk. They'll walk up to us and say, I never told you guys this back then 10 years ago, but I'm so grateful somebody was out here because I didn't have my abortion because I saw somebody here. So we know that there are many more babies that are being saved than the ones we're able to document. And we are so grateful to God for that being the reality. I have a couple stories I wanted to share about. One not a baby saved, a very difficult situation, and then some real good baby saved things that have happened. This one happened to me when I was out at Planned Parenthood sidewalk counseling at my regular time, probably a month or so ago. And this woman had walked out of Planned Parenthood and started going past me to go up the street. So I offered her help. And she told me that she was poor, that she couldn't afford the abortion, and she was going to go look for her boyfriend, and she was walking away. Well, I thought because she was walking away, it was safe not to worry about her anymore, because at this point in time, I'm the only one there, and if I leave my post, what if somebody else comes? So I stayed there. Well, about 20 minutes or so later, she comes back down the sidewalk. Now, this time, a second sidewalk counselor has shown up and is out there with me. So we start talking to her. In a very short period of time, we find out that she had not eaten that day, that she had 2 children at home, that she didn't have a job, and she had no idea what to do while being pregnant. And of course, what are we telling her? We can help you with all those things. And we would. And we can. And we're offering that help. Unfortunately, the escorts at Planned Parenthood came out, stepped in between us, grabbed her by the arm, and ushered her into Planned Parenthood for the abortion. Now, I share this story because I want you to understand the dynamics of what's happening here. Had that woman listened to us, we would have worked, or the pregnancy help center we brought her to would have worked to make sure she got meals, that her kids were fed, that she would find a job, and that all the things that were the reasons and the problems that she had in her life would be resolved that had her there in the first place. And of course, the reality is she went in and had the unborn child killed, and she walked back out, and she still had not eaten. She still had 2 children at home that she didn't know what to do about, and she still had no job and no hope of what to do because Planned Parenthood only did one thing for her. kill her baby. That's a hard reality of what we see on the sidewalks out there. But it's the truth, and it's what we have to face. Now, some fun, good stories. I walked up to Planned Parenthood Thursday. What is today? Monday. 4 or 5 days ago. What is Thursday? I walked up to Planned Parenthood on Thursday. It was in the afternoon. The only reason I went there is because I wanted to see a couple of the prayer people who are out there every week, and I just dearly love to greet them and to see them from time to time, so I had that opportunity. So I stopped and I was talking to them. In the process of this time, a woman came out who had been talked to by the sidewalk counselors earlier. She's holding the literature in her hands, and she's telling our sidewalk counselors as she's driving out that she was not going to have the abortion, and she was going to go get the help that she needed. Exactly what we offer. And that happened to be my birthday. It's better than that. Because a year ago on my birthday, I prayed to God that a baby would be saved while I was out at Planned Parenthood, and a baby was saved. So God does hear our prayers. God does work through us. Lives are being saved. In fact, this past week, we documented in the Twin Cities 5 babies saved from being killed by abortion at 3 different abortion facilities just this past week. So God is very good and very faithful. Pro-Life Action Ministries, in just the theme of this evening, you come to see this desire to see the involvement of the youth. But this isn't something brand new this evening or coming up about this year for us. It's something we've been working toward for many years. We recognize and we understand that the youth, the young adults, and the older teens are the pro-life generation. We see the thousands, hundreds of thousands, who show up in Washington, D.C. at the March for Life. And we see them as they come out and they're part of the different activities that we have. So tonight what we want to do is announce a new youth initiative for Pro-Life Action Ministries, where we will coordinate and put together a group of youth who would take leadership and learn, be mentored by our years of experience and wisdom that we've gained that give us gray hairs in our mustaches and our heads, and to share that, to bring these youth to be leaders right now and leaders for the future in the pro-life movement, and to bring them out to be a part of the mission of Pro-Life Action Ministries, not just going to the abortion facilities, but going and doing the activism work that our ministry has always been a part of since 1981, when Brother Paul and Brother Michael started the organization all that many years ago. So we want to create this Youth Leadership Council, Leaders for Life, as it were, comprised of young adults and high school juniors and seniors who would, again, be trained in strategy and tactics, organizing events, and focusing this work in intervening to save lives. We're going to be doing a monthly prayer-led prayer vigil out at the abortion facilities or at one of the abortion facilities each and every month, led by the youth. Again, organized and led by them. We want to partner with Students for Life of America and other pro-life organizations to coordinate and promote cross-promotional events and activities. Encourage and promote participation in that annual March for Life in Washington, D.C., and see more youth have the opportunity to go there and to come back charged up and on fire for doing this good work. And we want to hold an annual post-March for Life event where we would gather in a church, have a couple talks, and then bring the kids out to the abortion facility to pray, probably in early February. We want to create new educational materials for distribution, and we want to engage in community outreach projects like our door-to-door campaigns and so forth. I want to share about that a little bit. When we did this Richfield 14,000 homes during the summer, it was a hot, humid day. You may not think about that in October in Minnesota, but it was a hot, humid day. And we had a lot of seniors. I'm not saying seniors in high school or seniors in college. We had some senior citizens who were helping out. God bless everyone who helped out. But I could see the difference very quickly between those that were a little older and the youth that were involved. We came back a little soaked and tired and barely moving our legs. The kids came back ready to do more. So we need you, young people, to go out and do these things as well. So we have one coming up next Saturday, October 18th in Richfield. And we want to allow the leaders of this group, the Leaders for Life, to actually create and develop youth activities that us old guys may not think of. And we want to be there again to mentor and to guide so that the leadership can be coming from you guys doing this good work. So I want to encourage you to do that. Think about, everybody here, think about, you juniors and seniors in high school, you college kids, think about this. What you can do, what you're willing to do, how much participation you're able to give while still doing good in school. Your parents are listening. While still doing good in school. And do this good work of saving lives and doing the work of the pro-life generation. Now, for the rest of us, none of you get to escape doing the same work. We're all still going to be going out and doing the work that we do with Pro-Life Action Ministries, right? Amen? Amen? You're going to keep coming out and praying, keep coming out and doing this good work, saving lives and being an impact for society for the sanctity of human life. That's the work that's in front of us today. So I really want to lay that challenge out for everyone. And so with no further ado, I'd like to invite Kristen Hawkins to come up, President of Students for Human Life of America. Kristen has been doing this, I think, since about 2007. I almost made her about 23 years older than she is or something. She's younger than 30, for goodness sakes. She's become a very good friend, and I'm very delighted to have her here, Kristen Hawkins.